Hey gamers, and welcome back to another video. Now, as you all know, there is a Nintendo Direct happening today, February the 9th, 2022, and although we are not too far away from it, I thought it'd be a really good idea to do my predictions, what I think will occur during the Direct, and then hopefully we can all look back on this video and say, wow Ben, you were so right, or I guess you were so wrong. I mean, I don't know exactly what is going to happen in this Direct because Nintendo is one of the most unpredictable companies ever. But I thought it'd be a fun idea to kind of sit back more casually and go over my predictions for the Direct. Now, we already know a lot of games which are coming out in 2022 or are just planned by Nintendo in general, so that gives us a pretty good baseline for what to go over. I'm also going to talk about things that I don't think we're going to see. I'm basically going to try and mention everything that sort of comes to mind and then, go over everything kind of one by one. So my first prediction is that we are definitely going to see more about Splatoon 3. I think Splatoon 3 is definitely going to get a good highlight during this Direct. It's got to be so close to coming out now. I mean, it probably will come out in the early summertime, I imagine. But from Nintendo's point of view, that means it's about time to start putting out trailers and more information and giving us an actual release date. Because we don't have a release date for Splatoon 3 yet, which is kind of crazy to me that the game has been known about for so long, and yet we don't know when it's coming out. That really does kind of blow my mind. So I definitely think this will be the day for the Splatoon 3 release date. It makes a lot of sense, it's close to it. I personally don't think we'll see another Direct before Splatoon 3 comes out. I think Splatoon 3 will actually be before E3. But who knows, I mean, I guess it could be a game that show off a lot at E3. Personally, I think that's going to be Breath of the Wild 2, but I'll talk more about that soon, well, maybe next. But yeah, I'm hoping we do get more about Splatoon 3 during this particular presentation. It's definitely one of my most anticipated games, and I know there's a lot of people here who probably don't play Splatoon, but it really is one of Nintendo's bigger games at the moment, and it is especially one of their biggest multiplayer games. It's really something that a lot of people get super excited about. It's got a really sort of good community with it, so I definitely can't wait to learn more about the game. It still feels like we don't really know very much. Nintendo's been pretty good at kind of concealing information about their games coming up, well, most of them anyways, so I'm really curious what we'll learn about Splatoon 3 during this presentation, and if we do finally get some kind of release date for it. I mean, I'd be very surprised if we didn't see anything for Splatoon 3. That would kind of worry me a little bit, to be honest with you. So here's hoping that we do get some information about it. Now, of course, as I mentioned, Breath of the Wild 2, that is one of the most highly anticipated Nintendo games by far at the moment. So many people are really looking forward to this one and they want to know more. Now, of course, a lot of people are theorizing that this game will be delayed to 2023, and to me that actually does kind of seem possible still. I think it is possible that we may see it delayed. However, it is also likely that we could see a new trailer for it maybe during this Direct, and maybe a bit more information. I think the one thing they really need to reveal now that I talked about in a previous video is the title of the game. Now, apparently they didn't reveal the title because it was too spoilery and they didn't want to give away certain things yet, but maybe if they came out with a new trailer that kind of gave us a hint towards that, then they could finally reveal the trailer of the game to us. So I would be really curious to see exactly what that title is. I personally do not believe that we will get a sort of release date for this game during this presentation. If we do, I'll be very happy and very surprised. And personally, I think even if we do get a release date, it's still one that could likely be delayed. I think it would definitely be much further off. But that being said, I do think we could see the title, I think that would make a lot of sense, and it wouldn't be anything too major, a small sort of teaser for the game and then finally the title. That'd be a good enough reveal, I think, to keep people talking about the game for the next few months without them needing to commit to a release date. That's not to say I wouldn't like to see a release date though, of course. I would absolutely love to see a release date, and I kind of really hope that we do get something like that, but it wouldn't surprise me at the same time if we don't, because it feels like it's far off, and it feels like it's one of those games that probably will get delayed because it takes a long time to make these games, and even if they're working with the original Breath of the Wild sort of engine and whatever, which of course they are, there's still a lot of stuff that they need to do. I definitely think we're going to learn more about the Kirby game this time around. We've had two trailers for it. We had one kind of randomly recently Kirby's one of those games that Nintendo is going to be very open about. They want to sell this game. They don't want to like be mysterious because they know people are going to buy it. I think with the last few Kirby games, they've had a lot of disappointment, so they really wanted to kind of change things up this time around and do something that they know the fans are going to go sort of wild for. And that means that we're going to probably get a lot more information dumped to us about Kirby. It's coming out very soon as well, and usually when a direct is like right before a game comes out, that means it is time for them to come out and sort of release a ton of information about it, you know. Some people might even find it to be too much information, you know. I feel like Nintendo can be very open about games that they really kind of want to do well. And of course, Nintendo wants every game to do well, but my sort of point here is that, you know, they've had that disappointment with the last few Kirby games, so it wouldn't surprise me if they, you know, want to really sell it to people this time around, which I think would be a good thing. You know, I think this Kirby game honestly looks really awesome, and I think a lot of people are going to be really excited to, you know, learn more about it and get it for the first time. You know, it might be a lot of people's first Kirby games. I know this sounds crazy, but I've never played a Kirby game before. I haven't, and this will probably be my first one. I am actually really interested in getting it. You know, it's something that I wasn't super sure about at first, but seeing that second trailer really convinced me to get it. So, you know, I'm looking forward to learning more about it. I'm sure we will definitely see more about it during this particular direct. So, of course, the hot game right now is Pokemon Legends Arceus, and do I think we're going to see a DLC announcement for it during this direct? The answer is no, definitely not. There is got to be a Pokemon Presents coming up at the end of the month. You know, it's Pokemon Day coming up, so do I think that they're going to come out with an announcement for DLC during this direct when they'll probably do a Presents? No, definitely not. I don't even think they'll hint towards something like that. I don't think Pokemon Legends would be mentioned beyond them saying, hey, Pokemon Legends is out now, enjoy the new region, blah blah blah, you know, that kind of stuff they do. I really don't think there's going to be any announcements for Pokemon in this. Pokemon is such like a big franchise on its own that it has the Presents for a reason, you know. It warrants its own huge presentation, just like Nintendo Directs do. So sort of combining them together is pointless in Nintendo's eyes, you know. I'm not saying that I wouldn't like to see an announcement about this. Heck, I'd be super excited today if I was completely wrong and they came out and sort of said, no, actually, we are announcing the DLC and, you know, we'll talk more about it later during the Presents. Or even if they just announced the Presents, I'd be excited. But personally, I don't think we're going to see a mention about Pokemon at all. I think it'll be purely focused on Nintendo's sort of in-house games. Of course, they are going to share a lot about indie games and stuff like that, but Pokemon is no indie game. Pokemon is going to be getting its own full presentation where I'm sure they'll talk about DLC and the other stuff that they've got going on and, you know, coming to the Switch and such. So yeah, of course, I love Pokemon Legends. I definitely think everyone here should pick it up if they don't have it already, and hopefully it'll kind of tide you over with some of these other games that probably won't be coming out for a while. We've got Kirby next. Kirby's not too far away, but aside from that, it feels like we're waiting a little bit. There are other games kind of out there in the ether, like for example, Bayonetta 3. I personally don't think we're going to see anything about Bayonetta 3 during this. It's kind of the same with the new Metroid game as well, that we've known about these games for years, yet we've heard nothing, and I hate to say it, but I think this direct is going to be another situation where we don't hear anything about these games. Now, I might be completely wrong. It's very likely that I will be. Maybe they'll come out with a new trailer and totally surprise everyone, and that'll be their huge and one more thing kind of moment that they like to do. I don't know, but I'm willing to, you know, say that I don't think we're going to see anything substantial about these games. Definitely not a release date for either of these games. If we do get a trailer or something, that would be the limit, you know. That's what I'm sort of thinking. I don't think we'd see a release date or anything, and it would shock me even if we did see a trailer for both of them. I know there's a lot of fans really anticipating them though, so I do feel for you guys, and I hope we do get more information about them soon, because it is definitely a shame how long people have had to wait for them. I feel like it's killed a lot of momentum of these games, but I'm sure that will pick up when Nintendo actually has stuff to show off for them and, you know, really gets them hyped. Just quickly, I thought I'd mention that I don't think there's going to be anything for Animal Crossing New Horizons. Of course, we all know they've mentioned that they are done with big content updates. They even said that, you know, they're not going to do any more paid DLC in an interview as well. I believe them, I really do. I don't think they're going to come out with anything during this direct. The only thing I could possibly see is some kind of like crossover with another game like Splatoon 3 or, you know, Zelda or something, you know, because those items, they're not in the game suspiciously, and you would think that they would be because they've been in like every other title and they made a huge thing out of it in Animal Crossing New Leaf. But I don't know, you know, I feel like they're just done and they don't want to do anything else, and it's a shame because there's so much potential still, even like nearly 2 years on. In fact, March will be the anniversary, so now would be a good time to kind of say ahead of time, like, oh yeah, we're doing a special anniversary thing, you know, whatever, blah blah blah. But they're not going to do that. I really don't believe that. So if you are an Animal Crossing fan, which of course I'm sure a lot of you folks are, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a disappointment in that regard. But of course, I think now, unlike with the past directs, you know, none of us can really go into these sort of things anymore and expect Animal Crossing updates. You know, with the past directs, almost every time it's like there was a potential of seeing some kind of announcement for Animal Crossing, but you know, now that's over with, I think, which is a shame. But okay, so on to kind of the big thing that I think we will see during this presentation. I think that we will finally hear about Mario Kart 9. I think that finally, after all this time, after all this waiting and excitement, I think we will finally learn that Mario Kart 9 is a thing. Now, I think the announcement for this is going to be very limited. I think they're not even going to show us anything. Maybe like some stock footage of racing or something, you know, like, you know when Nintendo does that thing where they darken the screen, you'll like hear noises coming in and then suddenly the characters are revealed, like, it'll be something like that, it'll be some kind of CGI cutscene, but I don't think they'll be like, oh, Mario Kart 9 coming winter 2022 or something, you know, they won't give us much. I really doubt that. Although they'd even say like, oh, there's a Mario Kart presentation coming. You know what I mean, like that kind of stuff they do. I do think it's finally time. I really do. And this is definitely a strong point of debate amongst Nintendo fans right now. Are we finally going to see something from Mario Kart? Are they even going to bother when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still selling so well? You know, they've come out of other games recently, like that live tour and stuff like that. And I think, yes, I really do. People seem to forget that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was not developed for this system. Just because it's doing well doesn't mean that they're not planning on doing another one, and in fact, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still selling really well is not a deterrent for Nintendo to come out with a new Mario Kart. That is simply not the case at all. It's an encouragement for them to come out with a new Mario Kart, because of course they're going to see this game sell so well, they're going to know how much people love this, and then come out with something that no one has bought before. A lot of people bought Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, and I know that, you know, it's sold better on the Switch basically because more people have a Switch, but the truth of the matter is there were a lot of people who had already played that game, or, you know, maybe still did get it but didn't play it for very long in general. So my kind of hope that this time around is that we do get some kind of announcement for it finally. It's not some kind of spin-off, it's not some kind of like gimmicky game, you know, like kind of what they've been doing, I guess with a mobile game and stuff like that. I want to see just a proper, usual, standard Mario Kart game, you know, the kind of game that we're all used to and we all know and love. Of course, it's going to have some kind of new gimmick in it. I'm not saying that it shouldn't, or, you know, it won't, but I'm not talking like the whole game is a gimmick. I mean, it'll have a cool new feature, like, I don't know, Mario can teleport now or something, you know, it's not something silly, but I want to see something like that. I want to see a proper Mario Kart game, a traditional entry, call it Mario Kart 9, or just call it Mario Kart 10 if you want to count the last one as 9, I don't care what they call it. I just want it to be a real Mario Kart game, the real experience. That's what we need right now. I'm honestly so, like, I know there's a lot of really exciting games coming out already, so I can't be too greedy, but I think right now Mario Kart 9 is probably my, like, most wanted game that they haven't said anything about at all. So I would love to know what folks think about this Nintendo Direct. What do you think is going to be announced and revealed during it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Definitely leave your thoughts down below in the comment section and leave your own predictions, and then come back here and see what I was right and wrong about. I'm sure there are loads of things that I was wrong about, but, you know, I'm hoping I'm right about some of them too, because I would love, for example, to see a new Mario Kart game announced. But thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more Nintendo content and coverage because we'll have a lot of it.